Did you stay over 6 months in the Philippines and you need to get an exit clearance certificate from the Bureau of Immigration in order for you to leave the country? I have the step-by-step procedure and the requirements on how to apply for an immigration certificate clearance or an exit clearance. So stick around for more details.
Welcome to Emily Central, your source to all things Philippines.
Hello everyone, this is Emily and welcome back to Emily Central. How are you guys doing today? Kumusta na po kayong lahat? Kumusta namang tanan? Here I make videos about all aspects of the Philippines. So, if you're interested in learning a bit more about the Philippines, or maybe you live overseas and you are feeling homesick, then you have come to the right place. So please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So today I want to go over the requirements and the step-by-step procedure on how to apply for an ECC, Immigration Certificate Clearance, mostly known to most people in the Philippines for exit clearance. So my mom arrived from the Philippines last week and I actually did a live streaming when she arrived here, and we did our balikbayan boxing of our balikbayan box. And if you guys want to see that, please do check this video out, and that is really a fun video. It basically tells you guys what we pack on our balikbayan boxes to send to the Philippines, and my mom just arrived that day. So she went back to the Philippines about a year and a half ago, and she came back here to the United States last week, and the Bureau of Immigration needed her to apply for ECC, which is the Immigration Clearance Certificate, most commonly known in the Philippines as exit clearance. So that is what I want to talk to you guys about today, about her experience and what she needed to bring with her, as well as how much it was to apply for the ECC. So, but before I go over all her experiences, I want to let you guys know that I am not an immigration attorney or anything like that. So please do check with someone professional if you need more information. I'm just doing this for entertainment purposes only. So let's start with who needs an ECC, Immigration Clearance Certificate or Exit Clearance Certificate. So this is needed when a foreign passport holders are leaving the Philippines after a stay of 6 months or more. So if you've been there more than 6 months, like my mom, if you are a US citizen, or if you're a citizen of a foreign country and you have stayed in the Philippines for more than 6 months, you will need to get an exit clearance certificate from the Bureau of Immigration. You will need to do this 72 hours prior to the departure date. So that's 3 days before your departure date. But somehow my mom was able to go to the Bureau of Immigration a week before her flight, and she was able to secure the exit clearance certificate. So please do check with your local immigration office to make sure when exactly is the right time for you to get your ECC before your departure date. So there are two types of ECC. ECC-A, or just also known as ECC, regular ECC. Second is ECC-B, which is issued to departing holders of immigrant and non-immigrant visas with a valid ACR-i cards and are leaving the country temporarily as well. So here are the requirements that she needed to bring to the Bureau of Immigration office to get her exit clearance. So the completed application form, which you can download on the Bureau of Immigration website, and I'm going to link all that information on the description box below. But here is the form that you will need. They will also give this to you at the Bureau of Immigration's office when you get there and you don't have the form yet. So make sure you complete this form. Next requirement will be 3 2x2 photographs. But the Bureau of Immigration's website says 5. So, but when my mom went there, they only asked for 3. So, like I said, as always, you definitely want to check with your local Bureau of Immigration office just to make sure exactly what you need. If you want to make sure, you might want to go ahead and get 5 copies of 2x2 photographs just to make sure that you have enough copies with you. But with my mom's experience, they only needed 3 photographs. Next, bring your original passport, your foreign passport. Say, like for my mom, it would be her US passport. When you bring your original passport, you will also need to bring copies of the following pages of your US passport or your foreign passport. A copy of the bio page. The bio page would be the page that has all your information, your name, your birthday, where you're from, and all that. So that is the bio page. This is an example of the bio page, and this is what you need to bring with you. Copies of bio page, copies of the page from your last date of your arrival in the Philippines. So that page that shows when you arrived last in the Philippines, that's what you will need to bring with you. Next, a copy of the page where your visa extension stamp is located. So copy of the visa extension page. This is the page where it shows the last time you paid for your visa extension. Please note, a balikbayan is only allowed to stay in the Philippines for free for up to 1 year. After a year, you will need to go to Bureau of Immigration and apply for an extension of your visa. That way you are able to stay in the Philippines legally. So the photocopy and the original receipt for your payment for your last visa extension will be needed, and it has to be an up-to-date valid date. So make sure that you always pay for your visa extension so your visa is good and you are legally allowed to stay in the Philippines. Let me give a quick note for ACR-i card holders. If you are an ACR-i card holders, you will need to bring your ACIR card. You will need to bring your original ACR-i card and the copies of both sides of the card, but only if this is applicable to you. My mom is not a permanent resident of the Philippines. She is a former Filipino holding a US passport, so she did not need this for her exit clearance. Now, how much is the ECC? The cost of the ECC is 700 pesos. That is the cost of the exit clearance certificate. Please note though that there is an express lane which my mom used, and that's an extra $500. So my mom ended up paying 1,200 pesos for her appointment that day for the exit clearance. So the 700 is for your certificate, exit certificate, and the 500 was just for express lane. So that is totally up to you guys if you want to use this express lane. That way you are able to just go in and out of immigration and you'll be able to get your exit clearance. So this is the most important part of this whole thing, is that you need to have a personal appearance is required, because you will need to do fingerprinting and some photographs will be taken of you for your certificate. So make sure that you do go yourself and you don't send anyone else to process your ECC. You make sure you go yourself, because you will have to be fingerprinted and there will be some photographs will be taken of you. Okay, so now you get all this certificate, and this is an example of the certificate. Now you're wondering when you will need to show your ECC certification. You will need this at your departure with the immigration officer. With my mom, she needed to show this at the Manila International Airport immigration officer. She showed her ECC, they will take the original ECC. So if you want to make a copy of it, you can, but the original will go to the immigration officer at the Manila International Airport, or whichever airport you are departing for your international flight. It could be Cebu, it could be Clark. So depending on where you're leaving for your international flight, they did not need this in Davao City. From her departure flight to Manila, they did not need this. You're only gonna need this for your international flight. So I hope you guys learned something from this video, and please share it to anyone that might find it useful. And please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and please hit that notification bell. That way you guys are always aware of what's happening in my channel. So thank you all very much. Maraming salamat po. Salamat sa inyong lahat. Please do take care of each other. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye! Leave the country, and 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Did you stay over 6 months in the Philippines and you will need to get an exit clearance from the Bureau of Immigration? Bureau of what? Okay. On vacation, and now I want to share with you guys her experiment experience. Was able to get this the week before her departure date. So the requirements for this, oh crap. That's where my mom was leaving. 3, 2, 1. When will you need to show your ECC certificate? You will need this at your airport, departure airport. 3, 2.